Hey, what's up? My name's Dean. I am a FTM transsexual from Jacksonville, Florida. Duval, as some people would like to say. At times, they even hats. They have hats that say Duval and 904. Actually, I was gonna get one as a joke sometime. But yeah, my name is Dean, and this is my very first YouTube screening thing. Yeah, thought it'd be pretty neat to put videos out there of myself in this box form thing, little spawns of me for everyone to see. Not really, because that sounds really egotistical. But no, actually, I just always kind of thought YouTube was pretty neat. I always saw other guys taping themselves and taping their experiences and stuff, and it's cool to have other people listen to it and realize, oh no, I'm not alone. So yeah, here I am. And I thought I would start off by, I don't know, maybe coming out with an out story. That usually sounds like the first thing most people do on here. It's usual. I don't know. Can't really think of anything too creative or crazy right now. Can't do too much creative stuff considering this is a MacBook and it's pretty hard to move around and, I have to kind of just sit on the ground here. But yeah, so FTM, and I always kind of felt weirder, not weird, but I felt different as a child, and I always kind of thought it was normal to feel that way, for little girls to, feel the way I did about their bodies and not be aware. I never had anybody really, like, try to shove any type of gender, like, category or shove me in type, and my mom, like, always thought it was cool for me to just be a tomboy, because she was a tomboy, when she was young. So I was tomboyish, and I liked being called a tomboy only because it had the word boy in it. I never understood the tom part. I just heard boy, and I used to always get asked, whether or not I was a boy or girl, because I was always very androgynous, and I still am very androgynous, I still am now, and I haven't started testosterone, and it probably sounds like I have, and I have sideburns, but I have other hair, but I haven't started. Yeah, but as a kid, I used to always get asked if I was a boy or a girl, and I just always wonder why people would ask, and I never it felt good, but I never understood why it felt good for me to feel otherwise, because everyone would say, no, you're a girl, but I didn't feel that way, and for having other people around me ask me whether or not I was a boy or a girl, just warped my mind. I didn't understand anything that was going on at all, and until I knew what transsexual women were, and I didn't completely understand it, but I understood that there were, people who were born biologically male who transitioned to female, and I respected them a lot, and I remember, looking up to them as children. I just been this one experience. I was on this bus, and coming from school, and there's this woman walking on the side of the road, and she was transsexual, but it was obvious, to some people, and there were children on the bus who didn't really understand what was going on, but they also kind of thought things were weird too, and were asking whether or not that was a woman or not, if she was a woman or not, and then they started, making jokes about it, and I remember getting so upset and telling them to, to shut up, and I looked up to her so much. I just remember watching her, just watching her and being like, whoa, it's amazing how that person's right in front of me, and I feel like I feel that way, but I didn't completely understand it. I was maybe 9 years old at that time, so I didn't get that that's how I felt, but I just felt some connection with them. I used to always watch talk shows when I was younger, transsexual people on them, and I never really understood why they made it a big deal to figure out which, gender they were. It always weirded me out, and it still does at this time. But I remember just watching it and being like, that's how I feel, in a way, but not completely, because I was young, and and like I had never met a transsexual man until I was about um, 16, about to turn 17, and that's from what I know. And it was amazing once I once I first like saw that there were actual transsexual men out there versus women. And I was younger and I never thought, well, if there's like women, then why can't there just be men? And it was just cool to see somebody, going through the same thing and not feeling alone, even though I knew there was no way I could possibly be that alone. So, yeah, as a child, I always felt different. And before I came out as transsexual, I came out as bisexual to my mother when I was 12, going on 13. It was like a week before my 13th birthday. And she was very understanding about it. She actually took that a lot better than I thought she would, because I like broke down, crying because I just couldn't stand not saying anything to her. And yeah, so afterwards I don't know. I never really felt like female, so I tried not to identify as a lesbian, but I just had a lot of people, tell me, oh, you need to pick a side and stuff, and I didn't understand, and like I just ended up picking a side, when I was younger. So I picked being lesbian, even though I knew I was bi and I didn't feel female, and I didn't date people, and I didn't date, so I didn't really know if the label even mattered, because I just didn't care to. I still kind of don't. I don't know. I just feel like I was too young to really understand what was going on. Anyways, with the whole, yeah. But I'm ranting. But yes. So went through being a lesbian, and once I understood, like the lesbian thing lasted for maybe a year or two, and once I realized that, no, why do I need to pick one side? It doesn't make any sense to me to have to pick one side. Like, that's ridiculous for people to think, oh, you're just confused, you need to pick one side. Like, it's so, like, ridiculous to me. And at that time, I didn't really completely understand, the reasons why people would want to do that in the first place. But I knew the only way I could be happy was featuring myself, so it's bisexual. And, about, like, I was like 17 when I first came out, I think. I was like, actually, no, I was 18. I was 18 when I came out as an FTM to not my family, but my friends. I went to this youth organization, queer youth organization called Jasmine. It's in Jacksonville. It's in downtown Jacksonville area. And yeah, they were the first people I came out to, because they were like my family, and it was great. It was a great coming out experience, because I was with them, and I also lived with an older lesbian couple, and they were very understanding. They understood, what it meant. Not completely, because they still learned a lot through me, but they knew that there were transsexual people within the community. So, and they were very loving, and they cared for me a lot, and I didn't feel like I had. Other than school, I didn't feel like I had any other negative reactions from it at that time, other than like school. And I didn't come out to school at all. Like, I went through my senior year of high school, and I dressed different. Definitely started dressing different, and started going by Dean, and I just stopped talking to people, so no one really knew that I went by Dean. There was like a couple people that I told secretly, that this is what's going on, and I go by Dean now, actually, and they were cool. So I had like a couple of people, that I talked to, and I was fine with that, because high school, high school was crazy. It always is for everybody, but it was just something I didn't feel like I cared enough to go through that much stress by telling them. Like, I didn't see any reason to. I went to school, I left, and then I had this whole other life outside of school, and like, I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. So, yeah, excuse me.